Hello everybody, this is a Matchbox 2017 G Case. We're going to open it right now. Where did it come from? In case you have to ask, it came from A&J Toys, anjtoys.com. There's the phone number, there is the website. Definitely go check them out. If you want this G Case, you can get it there. If you want any other future cases, car culture, everything else, they are a good source. They are one of the best sources for cases moving forward. Anyway, we're going to open this up. We're a little late because I was finishing up my little setup. You can see there are cars. We'll get to that later in another video. Right above those Hot Wheels car culture cars are some Matchbox cars. But let's talk about this case and let's get it opened right now. 24 count case. We're getting into some good stuff with Matchbox. We're getting more and more new models. We've already seen quite a few good ones. But let's go ahead and check this one out. There's always one big key with Matchbox cases, and it is which cars, because they're so small, these 24 count cases, which cars get the duplicate treatment. We're going to go ahead and find out. All right, so we will start. We'll go through these very quickly. We start with three cars that, well, whatever. X Scanner, which I don't think is a new model, but I think that's a new color. The Road by 4, which might be new. And then the Road Tripper, which is not new at all. In fact, well, I mean, this is a new 2017 version, but it shares the same livery as others. I have a question into the Matchbox team about that. Maybe it's a licensing thing, I don't know, but obviously, well, because these are unlicensed cars, maybe it saves a little money to put a duplicate livery on an old car so that we can do more with the new stuff. In fact, we'll get into that in a little bit. But here we go. The other three. I think we've seen these before. The Snow Thrasher's a new casting, but we've seen that before. The Plow, what do they call them that now? The Plowverizer, which that's a casting that's been around for a while. And an old casting, the Matchbox Sand Racer. Little dune buggy there. Okay. Swamp Raider, Rainmaker, and here we go. This is more interesting. Here is the Land Rover 90. That casting, if you know, the Land Rover 90 casting has been around for, what, 20, 30 years? But this is modified. It used to have a plastic roof. This one goes all metal now, and I know that there might have been some more details with that. They could go a different color on the roof, but this one isn't bad. I like it. We've seen this in the Land Rover exclusive release they did earlier. All right. Jungle Crawler, based on a Dodge Power Wagon. I think that's an old livery as well. I could be wrong on that one. I'll have to check. Garbage Gulper, and then the Desert Thunder with some names of some of the Matchbox team members there. All right, now let's get interesting. Well, let's start from the bottom. There's a Corey King, but these are the models that I think we're more interested in. This is what makes this case great. I mentioned this was loaded on the blog, and some people argued that it's not loaded. By numbers-wise, it would have more good models in it. I get that, but this model is so highly anticipated, and they've done such a nice job on it. We'll go and move this here in a second. That I think this makes this case a great one to have, because the Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6 is one heck of a model. Now, we've known about this model for a while. It is the first new casting release from any of the Mattel brands since the license was renewed with Mercedes. And Matchbox didn't pull any punches on this one because it has front deco, side deco, and rear deco. Now, again, I am just speculating. I don't know. But maybe you see those repeats on the generics so that they can put more fun into this one, which I'm happy with. AMG 6x6, we featured it on LamleyGroup.com a while ago. And thankfully there's two in there, so when it hits stores or you buy the case, you'll get two. All right, that fantastic Dodge Challenger, we've seen that before in pink. Here's a new casting, right? The Hydro Cruiser. I can't remember if this is new or not. I am not your source for generics, for unlicensed models. I apologize for that. I should know. Cool little water piece, but I think maybe it was out last year. I mean, you guys can criticize me for that. That's fine, but I just am not going to just seeing, I just saw there's some writing right there. The next gen ship yacht. Can you see that there? I don't know, it's kind of hard to capture. Anyway, you can check that out when you find them in stores. All right. Okay, see, now here's how there's awesome duplication. All right, so here is the Swift Shuttle. That's not what I'm talking about. That was in the last batch. This is new to this batch as well, and look at this. This is cool. Just like last year, the Volkswagen Transporter cab has 2 different beds, and we got both in this case. I don't know if that will always be the case, but, well, a lot to talk about on this one. Number one, last year's model had some side deco, like a cycle shop, and no front rear deco. This one goes complete opposite. The disc hubcap wheels, which look great on this model, plus front detailing. I'll just do one here. Front detailing and rear detailing. There's a code, you guys can figure that out. And yeah, and then it has the 2 beds, one with nothing right there, and one with what is that? A tire and some other equipment. How nice is that? 2 in there, so you may or may not get the variation, but you will get 2 of each in this case. And lastly, we've seen the van, which was in the last case. You had 2 of those. This one is the, what is that, the gas can and tire variation. There's a motorcycle variation as well. And thankfully, another double dose of another new casting. This is the 2015 Subaru Wrx Sti. I kind of slurred my words there. I apologize, but 2 of the new police version. And again, they've given you some really good deco. Obviously, the side deco, because this is a police car, doesn't have the rear deco, but it does have front. So that looks really, really nice. The casting itself, let me just say, I don't know. It's a little off. It looks a little scrunched, but that's okay. It does look good with the deco. And between this and the AMG 6x6, I'm happy with it. One I will definitely collect. And we featured that one as well a few months ago. You just have to search for it on the blog. That is the case. So is it loaded? Well, maybe numbers-wise, no. But when you have 2 of the VW, 2 of the Mercedes, and 2 of the Subaru, plus some good repeats in there, I think it's a really good case. Look for it in stores soon or get one at A&J. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.